Hi, this is Care Hart, and I have Jean Peter backstage with me, and the two of us are going to be working on a magazine project with you. Mine is going to be with a cigar box, because in a couple of months, half of you are going to receive a cigar box that are in the program, and the other half of you won't. So Jean will be working on it without a cigar box, and I'll be working on it with. Now, what I'm going to do, and you don't have to do this, but what I'm going to do is convert my magazine into an art journal that fits into my cigar box. Now, if you're not getting your cigar box for a couple of months, you may want to just set the cigar box and magazine aside and do this a couple of months from now. Or maybe you have a box of any sort that you can make or pick up and do it with that. So it doesn't have to be a cigar box, but I'm just talking about finding ways to upcycle the things that we have. What do I have on my table? I have some washi tape, and all of you should be receiving washi tape in this month's package, unless you specifically say no washi, or I just didn't have any room. If you don't already have scissors, make sure that your smile list is updated for scissors, or you send, and if you're in the Happy Pack program, then you send me an email and say you could use some scissors. And so you'll get a pair of those if you don't already. I have a pen and a marker just in case, because, you know, just in case you need to mark something. I have a lot of glue. I use a lot of glue. Everyone's package should include 2 glue sticks. Set this aside so they don't roll away on me. Everybody's package is going to have a clear ruler. I ran out, so I'm just using my own metal ruler. Actually came up 11 short. Everyone's package is going to have a magazine, which is donated by Toady Media. It's a publishing company that's here in Sanibel, which is not too far from Fort Myers. And everyone's package this month, if you have paper or painting selected in your category, unless you say no paper, you'll be receiving a bunch of Prima paper, 30 pages. Now, what I have on my desk, it's not 30 pages, but it's the paper that I pulled out of a package of someone who can't handle birds. It's a trigger for them. So these are all the pages that had some kind of bird somewhere on them on one of the sides. There you go. So all the sides have some kind of bird on them. Everyone's paper is going to look a little different. You'll notice, I don't know if this one has any duplicates, but a lot of them do have duplicates in them. I checked, and it doesn't matter because one side will be this, and even if you have a, you know, one that the both of them are the same, the other side is going to be different, right? So when you're doing your project that we're doing today, you're not going to use all this paper. Not to mention, it's pretty thick paper. So let's go ahead and see what Jean has on her desk that she's working with. And both of us are going to talk through on occasion what we're doing when we sort it out. So let's go see what Jean has.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I decided to keep it simple because the other day when I did something, I think it was with Christine Cathy, and we used some of the paper bag that came with this. I kept it simple, and I love that challenge. And I have something in mind. Actually, I have something. I'm going to make a little journal. I'm going to do the magazine in half and do a little journal. But the bottom half, I have like 2 different plans for that. One of them was actually something I just received in the mail, and some happy mail with some stuff that I can use in the foundation if I want. It's just, this is fabric, this is a painted paper, and these are just pages hinged together with little pieces of scrapbook paper and other magazine pages. And I think this is so stinking cool. So I have that in another project too, but all I have is the magazine. I have 2 pencils, because you never know if you're going to break one. So I brought a mechanical pencil too, even though I really prefer a good old-fashioned pencil. My ruler, I do have a pair of scissors to the side if I need them, and 2 glue sticks. Now mine are different because I'm taste testing these. Well, not really taste testing, but you know, I'm testing them to see how they are because we might be able to get a good deal on them. So anyway, let's play. Let's play.
So the first thing I did while she was showing you what her goods are is I sorted out which papers have a cut apart. Like this whole thing can be used, so I'm happy to use it in my project. Now keep in mind, you may choose not to use your fancy pants Prima paper on this project. You can use whatever you want. One of the things, I'm a junk journaler and I love making junk journals. So I save all different kinds of papers, everything from book pages to off prints to maybe something that has a tear in it. I use all different kinds of papers when I craft with stuff. And you may prefer to use a thinner paper on the way I'm going to be doing it because I'm gluing it. Because by the time you're done, your magazine is going to feel like a brick. Okay, so let me tell you how I sorted my papers. The first set are papers I can use anywhere throughout because both sides can be ripped pretty much anywhere and you don't feel like you're losing a cut apart. And what do I mean by cut apart? Well, wouldn't it be nice if this whole thing was cut apart to be embellishments? And lots of the Prima paper have cut aparts on one of the sides. See how this side doesn't and this side does? So I sorted out all the ones in this stack that could be cut apart. Yeah, just this side. It was just this side. Just that. Oh, look at all the journaling cards on this one. Just that one. These are my cut aparts. I'm setting them aside. I'm not going to use them for right now. I think this would be better after the art journal is done for embellishing it for wherever I feel like it. By the way, I always have a few book pages nearby from an old book. So if you have an old book that's too torn up to donate, be sure to keep that one aside because those are always great in whatever you're doing. And so when I say art journal, let me show you real quick. Oh, you've never seen one of my art journal flip throughs, have you?
I haven't.
I don't know if I've ever shared them, but let me show you real quick. I'm going to go, well, I'll leave you on your screen as well. So when I do an art journal, I like to flip. And so I'll find little magazine articles that I want to save. And when I flip it down, I'll cut other pages to fit. So like I cut this out of a magazine at some point where she's doing something with a hose, and then it flips up to give me a story. So it's just layer stuff on. This isn't even done. I'll show you one of my favorite pages. I shared this not too long ago. Oh, it's early on. Look at that. So this is in a hardcover book. So you can do that too if you don't have a magazine. So this was pulled out of a magazine. It says, "Embrace the positive messages." This lady is meditating. And then, oops, I ripped my own page. And then I liked both sides of this page, so I flipped it. And then on my book, the page in the book, it said blinding clarity. So I wanted to keep that. So I used my bench, which these are all different layers from different magazines that I layered onto this page. And then it's talking about, someone else wrote this, but it resonated with me. So I kept it in the journal. And then I like numbers. So I left the numbers up in the corner. And then some of the pages flip out or flip up or however I felt like doing it as I flip through. So like this is one of those meandering books, but I put it inside of my journal because I just like the puzzle of things. Oh, there we go. That's how it folds out. Looks like that. But anyway, so an art journal doesn't have to necessarily only be if you're a painter. It can flip any which way, however you want. See how maybe you've got colorful magazines where you enjoy the pages. And I curated this from just a couple. And then I have starter pages in here too on the blank pages. And I left some blank as well. So however you choose to do your art journal is your level of freedom. Let me see. I don't know that well, here's a page that has something waiting to go in it. So you can even store stuff in there waiting to go. It's all messy now. It'll be better later. So that's aside. I just wanted to show you what I'm thinking That one is not painted in yet. I typically don't paint in mine until I get to later because I paint out the things I don't want and paint in the things I do. First thing I'm going to do on mine, Jean is using a ruler to tear hers in half. Do you want to talk about your process before I do mine?
Yeah, I went through here earlier before we started and picked out to make sure that if there is any images I really wanted to save to use as a glue book kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And there was only a couple, so I pulled those pages out first. This is an amazingly well-made magazine, let me tell you. The cover is so hard and stiff, and it's not tearing perfectly, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that per se. But once you start going off a little bit, every page is going to go off. So I did have to get out my scissors and cut it. But for the most part, all I'm doing is just tearing it in half. I'm actually going to have, if I would have tore it correctly, I could have had two magazines, two journals. But
you still can if you glue bind it when you're done.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's well, what I'm tearing out, all you have to do is just take them and fold them in half like this. Mm-hmm. Because these are some amazing magazines.
So I was just going to say, I met with the owner. The owner is the one who donated them to us. And I actually saved, this is his first magazine that he ever created. And it's from 2004. And I wanted it to be one of the ones on film in case it means something to him too, as one of the original magazines. Although he might have a hard time with it because I'm going to rip it up. So I'm going through his, and all of the magazines that he's produced have fabulous pages. They're not the thin fashion magazine textures. So you can work pretty well on these pages.
And I'm finding when I tear them, I do need to do some and then come back and move my ruler. I can't just tear all the way because
oh really?
Yeah, the pages are just that good.
Yeah, they're nice and thick. I'm going to go through the same thing you've already pre-done. I'm going to go through and look for any that I want to keep, that I want to rip out, which, by the way, folks, you may want to just rip out some of the bulk too, because I'm going to be folding my pages to fit into the box, which means that my spine is going to really be stressed by the time you add all the layers. So first things first, I'm ripping out the ones that I want to keep as, see, I like this page right here. So I'm not fancy pants. I just gradually rip and tear. Do you do the same? You just rip it?
Well, I did try to measure and get half, but as I can tell, my pages are definitely not even. Let's see. I mean, we're talking a good strong 1/4 of an inch. So we'll see if I can save it. And, it's okay because there's such good quality paper that if you have to take some of them out, it's still going to be a great journal.
Yeah.
I would almost bet you'd never know it was a magazine when it's done.
Oh, I guarantee you're not going to know it's a magazine when you're done. When I'm pulling out pages, for those of you who are new to crafting, when I'm pulling out pages, I'm not just choosing pretty imagery on here. I'm also choosing when I like a texture. So of course you can pick the focal points you like this would be really cute on a greeting card. And then I also look for words. So if you're flipping through so close yet so different, I think that is a fabulous little phrase. I'm in Southwest Florida, so all of these magazines, oh, by the way, I love these things. Don't just toss these. These become art cards. Same thing. I'm going to take this one out, though.
I mean, this is the cover. Look at that.
It's thick. It was a lovely donation. He said 150 magazines, but I put a magazine in every single box, and I have a bunch of magazines left over. So he gave more than 150. Oh, I love this one. I like the hands too. I'm glad your surgery went well. My hubs goes in tomorrow. I will be offline pretty much. Well, I don't know if I won't be offline because, you know, sitting in a waiting room, if I have a cell signal, I'm going to be doing emails. It's just This is so funny because for an RVer, when you see the word Blackwater, you assume it's the poop that comes out of the RV. So I'm reading this going, it truly is Blackwater. These people are canoeing on Blackwater. So this would be funny for me to make a card to a family member. Oh my gosh, this is a cow doing the hula.
I saved that ad too.
Oh, that's so funny.
There was so much going on in that picture.
There is. That just makes me want to doodle looking at that one. Ooh, I like that too. This is giving me an idea of what to do for like a cityscape. Wouldn't that be fun to do a full cityscape done with faces instead? Oh my gosh. Okay, so sometimes a magazine gives you an idea for another piece of art to create in the future. Oh my gosh, that would be so much fun. Ooh, see, again, look at the textures on this page. They're not necessarily pulling out a focal point, but this is a great background layer. You know what I notice I never pull out of magazines? Food.
I do if it's got a colorful picture.
Maybe like their logo or something, but or you mean the food itself?
Yeah, like there were some pictures of some food in here that had big, pretty pink flowers beside it. You know, that was okay.
Well, that would be okay, yeah. See, I like when they put the orchids in there. Should we keep the gator?
I did.
You had a gator in yours too? Oh, that's so fun. That's good stuff. We used to, when we lived on a boat, we used to...
seashells, and I had...
We used to see dolphins all the time, and dolphins are so fun to watch when they're playing. Oh, that's a pretty little... I don't know if I'd ever use it in art, though. Oh, I love sailboats. We didn't live on a sailboat. We lived on a different kind of boat. Just a boat with a couple engines. Oh, that's pretty. I'm sure this part is boring. I'm no good at reading y'all's chat. It'd be interesting to read this and compare it to what they're saying today. That's all the same, though.
I haven't decided if I'm going to take the cover and fold it or leave it in one piece and cut it down. And my reason for that is it is very stiff, and I'm not sure that I want it
that thick
if I'm going to put other stuff on it. And my pages are not all the same length. It's just that one. Never mind.
It's funny that you say that because of the thickness of these pages. So normally, because pages are so thin, I fold them in half and glue them. But I'm feeling like I want to turn this into a tattered journal where essentially I just rip it at the length I need, measuring the inside of my box because these pages are so thick. So when I get to that, I'll show you what I mean. But
I'm thinking I may tear some of these, just tear them in half and not fold them over to glue them.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because they really are that. Oh, I love the word curious.
I want to do this whole magazine book without any paint too.
Ooh, that's a good challenge. Well, I'm not going to be doing paint today.
Well, I'm not either.
But you know how thick these pages are going to be once you glue paper on both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably going to have to still pull chunk out of this to make sure it's, oh, look at how cute that little mermaid is.
No, I didn't get Little Mermaid.
Oh, it's a restaurant that I don't think exists anymore. If it does, we've never been there. I didn't pull it out because it has advertisements all over her. Oh, look at these vintage toys. How fun.
Oh, how fun is that?
How many of you folks go to antique stores and then can't contain yourself looking at the toys, remembering the toys you had in childhood?
I was poor. We had a box.
Did you sit in a box and make it into a house? I was poor, and I turned cardboard boxes into a Barbie doll house. And my aunt had given me all of her Barbies and the clothing. And so then I colored on pieces of paper, and then, you know, you'd sometimes get fun mail that had colorful stuff on the mail, and I glued that down to my boxes, and it was like a 3-story Barbie house made out of cardboard boxes and random stuff.
Cool.
This is a bar that's still around.
I did have toys. I'm just teasing you.
I had toys. I had Barbies. But you play, you know, just that's why you have to be out of the box now, right? Is because you were always in the box in the past.
Yeah. Look at this page.
Oh, how perfect.
Turned out like snapshots, you know? I mean, that's just how the page tore. No. Just struck me as unusual.
The first time I saw someone do a magazine into an art journal was actually Crafting Mamas years ago. And she took a single magazine and she folded it and then glued the pages down. And it was from junk mail. Oh my gosh. And then she embellished it and it was fabulous. I love her. Sometimes I like ads. I like to see what we've got in the ads. Nothing good there. Oh my gosh, the back cover has the cutest little diver. I can't even steal her. She's going to get messed up. That's heartbreaking. Okay. Now let me see how much. Oh, I didn't rip out much. I'm going to go in and rip out every other page so the spine can handle it. Although it looks like this page wants to stay here. Okay, so giving myself room for stuff. This does not work if your magazine is stapled. If your magazine is stapled, you would have to use a different approach rather than ripping out the bulk. You know what's going to happen is I'm going to have this stack of papers later and go, why did I save that page? The walls start closing. Oh, I love this color.
It really helps to take some of them as just a single page.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, see, that's mine, and I only pulled out a few pages. Now I got to figure out what I want to do with the cover. I want to know what I'm going to do with the cover.
I don't need my magazine to be as thick as the cigar box because I like to have room on the top for things to be there. Y'all had no idea how boring I was going to be just sitting here ripping paper out. and I don't know, I'm thinking I might fold the pages.
Well, you just do what you got to do.
Ooh, powerful ideas that click. I kind of like that phrase. I'm stealing it. Saving it over there.
Oh, look. Doesn't take much to make me happy. I folded it, so now I have a fold over. But I want this torn a little bit.
I know, I love the look of it being torn.
I know, and this magazine is just wonderful. There.
Okay. Now my magazine is nice and thin, and so my spine isn't going to get all out of whack when I add all my pages and layers and shenanigans. And for those of you who may or may not be comfortable with that, don't worry about it, because you can actually refold the spine to be thicker as it grows. Then what I like to do is I'll go and fold, if I'm folding, I'll fold one side in here on this side, but on the back side, I'll fold it in towards the middle. So the goal is to find the estimated middle, wherever that might be, and then fold them in from there if you're folding. But my heart of hearts really wants to just rip them. I really do.
Well, I folded most of mine, but I didn't fold all of them because I really like this. I love this size. There's something about this that's very, very, very nice.
That is a fun size to make an art journal.
Yeah. I haven't made one this size. I've made the long one. Actually, I've made 2 of them. So.
All right. Where's my ruler? I've already lost it.
One's still a work in progress.
Okay, y'all. If you don't have a ruler, because I lost my ruler. Oh, there it is. Well, let me show you what I was going to do anyway. If you don't have a ruler, then what I'll do, oh, look at that. Look how perfect that little book page fits. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, so it fits, and make sure that whatever, because I'm going to use this as my width guide, this piece of paper. If you do have a ruler, then just come in here and make sure you don't measure to the edge. Give yourself some space. And so if I was to measure this, it definitely can't even be 5 inches because that's where the 5 is. So I would make it 4 3/4 here. So let's see how much this is if I'm measuring this one. And it's a little bit more than 4 3/4 here. So I'm good with 4 3/4 in my journal. But I like the idea of using this as my guide. And I am just going to annoy the crap out of all of you and rip. I don't know if I can rip my cover very well, but I'll try. There we go. I'm just going to rip them all. I'm not going to do the fold, but if you wanted to fold, you'd know that you need to fold in whatever the difference is of your length. So for instance, imagine this wasn't ripped. You just fold it over and see how there's extra space. Then you'd want to glue a piece of paper that's wider than your extra space of where you're folding in at. Anyway, I like the rip better anyway. Just because I like the way things rip. Hold the bridges. Uh-oh. This last little one. Being sassy.
I'm already tired of blue and thinking of the rest of them.
I know, that's the benefit of doing it this way, right?
I'll glue a few of them, but
this versus the art of it. I don't mind gluing if I'm gluing artsy things down, but if I'm doing it for the tedious element of work, then maybe not so much. There it is.
It is kind of cool on mine, though, how I did it exactly in half, and then I folded it in half or tore it in half, and how so many of my things just show up.
Perfect.
Perfect. So some of them are staying because they are perfect. And you got to have perfect once in a while. Just so that you can remember it's okay not to be perfect.
You know, it's so funny because you see things differently when you block something. I can't believe I didn't rip this page out with how cool the wine bottle texture is right there to use on another page.
It's not too late.
Well, it's going to get ripped out anyway because I'll catch that side of it. I suppose the only food I ever do rip out is my version of a salad. You know what that is?
Vegetables. Anything without lettuce?
I was being funny. There's a bottle of wine here, and it could be a fruit salad because I would count that as grapes.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking. I didn't look.
Well, no one could probably see it from that far away. I love all the stuff that's supposed to be in salads except for the lettuce part.
And
oh my gosh, how cute that is. It's towing an old car. So my town is known for Edison wintering here back when he was coming up with the ideas and some of his innovations. Do any of you have towns that are known for a particular thing or a somebody?
Well, my husband's hometown has an astronaut.
Oh, that's
I can't
cool.
see which one, but they have an astronaut. And we have somebody named Jack Kilby that they've named everything for, but I don't know what he did at my hometown. So
I'm not a measurer. Can you tell? I just put it up on the thing and I'm like, what'll fit? And so I just put my little marks in there.
Well, I think I like this glue stick.
Oh, that's good to know.
I'm just having trouble because it's not purple.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You can't, it's harder to see when it's not purple.
Yes. And that's just me. You know.
Yeah, I hear you.
This old blind lady.
I'm trying to make this square, and this is the hardest part for me. It's making something square.
Now, if you've got a great big old fancy smancy guillotine paper cutter, you could have probably cut this, but then you don't get those.
Oh my God. My cover tore.
Paper will fix that.
Yeah. I'm not going to stress about it, y'all. I'm not going to stress about it.
This is our fun.
So I'm going to glue my cover to the page underneath it. So then, because the blue kind of works at the top. Let's see if I can do it this way instead, and that might help. Just afraid it was too, yeah. Okay, so my goal is to rip a little off the top and a little off the bottom so it fits inside of my cigar box. Everybody's cigar box is going to be different, so that's why giving you guys measurements is going to be useless. I'm finding that, okay, so you know how paper likes to rip in one direction but not the other?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm finding that my paper doesn't like to rip in this direction.
Well, in every magazine journal I've done, mind you, I have had to fold and glue But these papers are actually okay. And I'm tired of gluing already. So I'm going through cutting the rest of them, tearing the rest of them. So if you're doing this with just any old magazine, just keep that in mind because you might be making your pages too thin.
Some magazines have super thick pages.
Yeah. These are pretty cool.
This
I'm
one's
very impressed with these magazines.
This one's going to have a tattered top and bottom. I can see it already. I'm okay with that, I guess.
Well, I have a tattered side and a tattered bottom. I wish the top was tattered too, but I'm not going in and tearing it. So, all right. That was fun. A little less glue and a little more action.
Now we're singing songs. How did you get your spine off easily? What tool did you use to get to the spine? Just scissors?
No, because I just tore off pages as they went, and it slowly came down to nothing.
Oh, that's good.
And you're tearing just little bitty bits off, so
that's the problem I'm going to have, yeah. When I get to my spine, it might be a little tough to get that spine off. If the hardest can have sharp objects, be sure that if you update your spile list, you have on there, if you don't have one, an X-Acto knife. If you're a happy packer, then we don't typically provide X-Acto knives because we don't know what you can and can't have.
Okay, I made the magazine. I haven't worked in it yet, but I've got to make something with what I pulled out, so the whole magazine gets used and loved. So I'm going to take one of these cover pieces, and I'm going to fold it in half. Oh, let's pull that part off.
You should do an art journal page in the middle to show, or anywhere in there, and in your magazine to show people what, now that the magazine is small, you know, what are you going to do with it and what we mean by making it into an art journal.
I will. I'll go back to that now, boss.
Oh, I don't mean right now. Do whatever your shenanigan was. Oh, my Lord.
Okay. So I got to find something like this. I'm going to leave this and maybe I'll caption it silly, or maybe I'll change her eyes or put a hat on her or something, but I think I'll leave it. I'm not going to do anything to it.
I know, that's one of those where you wish you had balloons or something, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, one at a time. Don't get aggressive here. And it's so different ripping different magazines, isn't it?
Okay. I love the name of this. Mucky Duck.
I'm guessing the duck was a little mucky.
That's the name of this.
Is it a restaurant?
Island.
Oh, it's an island.
It's a restaurant. It's a restaurant.
Okay.
In heart of downtown Captiva.
Captiva Island. You feel like you're visiting me down here with all these little ad magazines?
There's another one whose name a couple of them whose names I saved because they were really cool, like the cow one, you know, and their logo is utterly something. I'm gonna start right at the front because it must have said Island Charm to Go. And I love the word charm. I think that sounds cool. So I'm going to work with that. And I am not going to get anything else to use.
No, you're limiting yourself to the magazine. How fun is that?
Because you just never know what you might find in here.
I'm not going to be all fancy and make pockets in this one. I think I'm just going to put a good base layer in this one of the Prima paper.
Oh, I could use the Prima paper, couldn't I?
If you want, you don't have to.
Well, I just wanted to keep it. I just wanted to use. I don't know what I want to do.
You want to limit yourself so it increases your creativity. Okay, let me see if my scissors can handle the spine. Oh my gosh, maybe. The answer is yes, but it flew everywhere like 52 card pickup, but instead with little paper bits. Oh, look at the tattered top.
Okay.
I do get to keep part of the sailboat. That's nice. Okay.
Right.
Now I gave myself a little mark on the bottom. And I like to give myself space in the magazine. So I'm going to go above the mark.
I'm going to have to use something else here in just a minute.
Uh-oh, what are you going to use? What are you thinking?
Well, I want to do a tab.
Oh, well, then do a tab. What are you going to make?
I don't know yet. Just trying to figure it out. It said a bit of island charm to go. So I'm going to cover up island. And I want a bit of charm to stick out there. That's what I'm. So, and I think I'm going to go grab my stapler because that would probably be the most secure. Oh, and I didn't even have to go very far.
A stapler is also one of those basic items that's in our smile list that you can say have or don't have. And if it's not in the smile list, it's in the application. Oh, this one ripped more, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah, see, it ripped more. Magnetic. I don't like how much it ripped more, so it gets to leave. Oh my word.
Now I like the glue so far, but these shiny magazine pages in the glue, they do want to slip around. So
does it stay wet for long enough that you don't have, it doesn't have to get stuck?
Yes.
I think that's why I like the glue stick better than some of the other stuff. Oh, this one just did the same thing. Magnetic. I'm not going to worry about it this time. I'm going to let it be. Oh, I ripped more than one. That's probably why it happened.
I think I got the wrong stapler.
Is there such thing as a wrong stapler? What's missing on the
Well,
stapler?
no, it just, I should have just went and got my little one.
Oh, I know why it's lifting. It's because I should be having the ruler on the inside of the spine right there. Well, maybe.
Hi, Steffi.
For those of you who have all different kinds of tools, yes, there's more tools on how to get this fine. I do have one of these, which when I'm bookmaking, I often use this. And this is the one I use for paper, by the way. But I often use this when I'm trimming it. And I'll just show you real quick. I'm not going to do it now, but I'll line it up to where I want it. And then to square my pages, I'll use this as my cutter. But not everybody has that. That's why I'm limiting myself to ripping and using scissors. But I do realize that it's more effective putting the ruler on the inside of the spine right there.
I'm getting washi tape.
Oh, I do have washi tape in most everyone's package, as long as there was room to put some in there.
Well, it's not exactly washi tape, but it's close.
What is washi, non-washi? Explain.
It's this.
Oh, it's the Scotch tape stuff?
Yeah.
The decorative Scotch tape?
Yep. But I got to cover up my staples so I don't bleed on my art book. Because we surely don't want to bleed on here.
Okay, I have to tell you, doing this part is the hardest part with the scissors. Watch your fingers. You can cut a finger off with this. We've never done it this way. There we go. Oh, it flies like 52 card pickup again. All right. So now it should fit in my box. Oh, look at that. Isn't it happy?
Crud.
What's your crud?
I made my journal the cover, and now it's got the tab on the front. I forgot about that. I do that a lot. I'll change something in midstream. Now I have to think about it. So I
Well, tilt it in and make it a little tuck at the top.
Well, I thought about that, but I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Right now we're going to leave it like this because this is okay. So now we're going to go ahead and finish the cover. With just, see, there's some food that was pretty. Prime rib, I think.
So a glue spine always makes me nervous that it's going to fall apart. So when I glue my pages in, I'm debating right now, do I want to use tape on the spine? Well, not this one. Tape on the spine of each one. You can see how it has the risk of ripping out if I just glue the pages, right? So, or, oh, that's a cover. I can't use that. Or should I use these to reinforce the spine, the leftover scraps all throughout? Ooh, fourth choice, just use a whole sheet and cut it to the size. I'm kind of liking that fourth choice. It does break my heart to have two-sided paper and use it only on one side, I have to tell you.
I'm sure glad, because it does me too.
It does. It's making me feel that way.
So I had a few duplicates in mine also, and I was pretty excited about that, honestly.
Because you could use both sides and not feel guilty
Yeah.
for left one out. Oh, it's feeling left out. Okay.
Kind of like growing up when I played with my Barbie dolls, you know? I had to play with all of them so nobody's feelings got hurt.
Oh my gosh, you're going to think this is funny, but the measurements of my book comes out to be just a smidgen under 10 by 10. Open, when the page is open.
Cool.
I know, right? Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So if I'm just a smidgen by 10 by 10, I could literally put it on the inside, although thinking, noodling. Yeah, I think.
Oh my goodness, can you guys smell the steam? She's thinking.
More like boiling a pot of noodles. All right. And here we go. I'm going, oh, I feel so guilty just using one page on each one. But it is going to be a fabulous book.
Hey, wait, save that one. I want that one.
Too bad. Okay, so if they're all 10 by 10s, that leaves me 2 inches here and 2 inches at the bottom. Oh, and then I'm going to have to make the decision of which side. Oh, the challenges. Okay, let me see how many pages I need 10 by 10.
I'm not liking the glue.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It didn't even stay on the cover at all.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So if I wanted to, I could have 23 pages that are 10 inches by 10 inches on the scrapbook. I mean, on the Prima paper. I think what I'm going to do is change it up. Some I'll just go straight to, and the first thing I ever want to glue is probably the spine, and then glue everything around it. Some of it I can just do as an art journal just this way. Right, so let's just pull out the stuff I talked about before at the beginning when I was saying you can use anything. The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood. Yeah, you can use absolutely anything on your page. And this will be the background. Yeah. That it just happened to be sitting next to me. So I'll do those.
I wasted $4 on glue.
No
Maybe
good.
better on just paper on paper, but on the magazine it's not good.
That blows.
Yeah. I will try it on paper and paper here in a little bit. And give it. I ain't giving up on it. $4, I could have had 2 Pepsis. Okay, I got my cover. And I got my little bit of charm. So I don't know if I'll keep my flap yet or not, but we'll see.
Okay, well, let me show folks something real quick. And don't you love how Prima paper, one side is all perfect on their little trim, whatever they call the one where it has the barcode?
I call them paper salvages.
Okay, that's what we'll call it, the paper salvage part. My first page is going to be a pocket. So let's fold it up at 10 inches. So I have to find where the 10 is. Right there. And for those of you who don't have a little foldy thingy, you can use your closed pair of scissors lightly to score it. Just watch your fingers when you do it. Not open, closed is always better. And don't put a lot of pressure, just nice and light so it knows where it wants to be folded. There's my 10-inch mark. Now I know my book's only 10 inches wide. What did I do with my book already? Oh, there it is. So this is going to go. Look at this page. It makes me nuts. Did I say I was going to keep it there? Yeah, this page is going to be glued to that page. It's making me nuts. So I'm only going to glue the top part and the bottom part, and now it's a pocket. So one line on the bottom, one line on the top, and make sure I get underneath it a little bit. So it's not going to be a perfect pocket, but it'll be a pocket. And get rid of that extra glue. For those of you who don't have something to burnish, close your glue stick, use the head of that. Burnish just means to make it stick.
Or don't close it, just pick up the lid. That's what I do 90%.
Oh, do you really? Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, see, now it's not going to make me mad anymore. All right, it's happy right there. Now I need 10 inches on either side. I love the left side. And so find my little spot. And yes, this is how I measure. It is horrible, is it not? Just like, put a little mark at the top here. Flip it over. Oh, for those of you not comfortable with the flip it over, I'll keep it upright. Yeah, make sure I'm on the same edge as where the top was. Put a little mark there. For those of you who want to do it with ruler or paper trimmer or however you choose, go ahead. Just not how I feel like right now.
It is really hard on me not to have my paper trimmer.
Is it?
It is. It is probably the biggest of all my challenges right now on trying to create, because I like straight lines, and I cannot lie.
That's funny. That's all right. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this in half. Okay, while it's folded in half, and I know it's upright and it lines up, I'm going to go ahead and trim my little folder notch out. It's happy now. So now it looks like a little folder on the inside of this. Now when I fold it here, it sticks out because I wasn't really thinking about it sticking out. So make sure that when you measure yours 10 inches by 10 inches, that you give yourself a little bit extra to trim off of it. So it'll be a little, or whatever your width is, trim a little extra off. And if you can't trim a straight line, then don't make it curvy on purpose. It'll be fine. You'll be happy. I do that too sometimes. All right. It's happy here and here. I feel like it's too tall. I'm going to trim it off the top. If you have decorative edges, that's always nice too, because then it always looks good in here. All right, see, now it doesn't stick out. Okay, I'm going to take my scrap, and I measured it to the height of the pocket, because my pockets are so small, I want to use every inch of it. So double check which way it was going. That way. And then fold it in half. Cut from, see how this is like the V in the V fold? Cut from the V to the opening in to give you that nice finished edge. Watch your fingers. Like this. So it fits over on the outside and it matches your page. Again, the beauty of it being double-sided. Make sure that I miss that one. The other nice thing about having scraps nearby is I like gluing onto the scrap. When you're putting glue down, be generous. As Pocket Full of Vintage would say, don't just lick it, stick it. Did you ever watch her, Jean?
I don't recall.
Oh my gosh, I forgot to do the trim. Hold your britches. I like watching YouTubers with a good accent. All right, I'm going to do it the Jean way without the glue. Oh my gosh. I have a glue party going on the head of my glue. You see.
I am making a mess, Arlene. That is what I am doing.
From a magazine.
I'm trying to use just a magazine to do an art journal, which I can already guarantee after I've done that, today I'll use other things, but I just want to challenge myself right now to what is in hand, what was in this kit, which was the magazine and the Prima paper. And we'll see where it goes from there. So far, it's harder than heck.
To only use those things?
Uh-huh. But it's a peaceful hard as heck. Does that make any sense?
No, it totally makes sense. Actually, the science of crafting is that if it's a little bit challenging, it is more therapeutic than if it's... Oh, I didn't get enough glue right there. Hold your britches, I'm thinking. There we go. If it's a little bit challenging, it's actually more therapeutic. Whereas if you're doing something that's repetitive, the same kind of stuff that you always do, it has less of an impact on helping you. All right, there's page 1 in the art journal, and you'd never know it was a magazine. I just like having pockets in the first page because you don't know if you're going to need to store something for later, you know, especially magazine images or something. Oh, I remember why it was open. You guys, do you remember why it was open? Someone's going to laugh at me because I left that front page open to have a little pocket on the front between. I forgot I had glued the front page to the cover. Oh, well, now there's no pocket. I won't worry about it.
Evidently, I don't know how to weave either.
You don't know how to weave.
Oh, don't tell my husband. He'll make me get rid of those 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 looms I own.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, let's use one of the pages from the magazine I already pulled out. Let's see if I can layer on the things I like. Let's just take the first 4. See how many that gives me. And we'll get 5 just in case. And I'll show you how even if you only have the magazines and not all the fancy Prima paper, you can enjoy the layering in the same way. For your base, don't put a whole, you know, it's like making clusters. When you're doing your base for your art journal or your glue book or whatever, sometimes you can use it as a therapy to not overthink things. You know, if you get yourself into that headspace of overthinking, then it's okay to simplify, even though, you know, it depends on what your stress level is and what gives you peace.
Well, look at this. So this is a map, and I cut it in strips and did this because of why? Because of the colors, right?
Mm-hmm.
But look at the other side.
Oh my gosh, how fun. I think I like both.
I think we're going with this side. It's just totally not intended.
So if somebody says to you, you can't use that art in your art journal because of copyright. First off, the answer is, did you put this on a copy machine? No. Are you claiming that this particular piece of art is your own? No. Are you just grabbing it from a magazine and using it as a version of collage, no different than Dali and Picasso and other collage artists that, dabbled in it? Yeah, that's what you're doing, is you're playing with collage and you're turning it into something different. So it's totally okay to use art from magazines in your own journal, however you choose to do that. I like this guy's face right here. It's also totally okay to take the art itself and turn it into something else. So for instance, this globe could be an eyeball, and that would be even more attractive. All right, let's get the fish. You can fussy cut them out too.
Now, I really like that better.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this little bit of charm right here with the dolphin on there. So that's my inside 2 pages. I will probably take pens or markers and go in and draw and doodle and make it more personal, make it my own, but that's my base. My cover's pretty simple. And I think I'll go ahead and leave my tab like that because I want that. I don't want it folded.
That is cute.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to find the ugliest page in here and cover that with. But I am going to keep all these pictures of people they're going to be my friends. They're all going to have names. Like, look at these. These are this is Aunt Bertha and Aunt Mary, I think, is what her name is. Oh, nope, Dorothy. I don't know. One of them's Dorothy, so we're going to leave one of them as Dorothy.
Is there a show that yells, Stella? Like, Yo, Adrian? Because every time I see the name Stella, I want to go, Stella.
Not that I recall, but that doesn't mean anything.
Well, I'm not a big movie watcher, nor really a big TV watcher. So it could come from pretty much any era. Oh, I'm going to fussy cut this one.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
What?
Well, I just was cutting out this picture because I think it's pretty. And I was thinking it could be for Dorothy and her friend over here to have a drink. But look, when I lay it down here, it says paradise.
Oh, how perfect is that? I love
little happy things.
So everybody, please put out to the universe that I am out of and still need to pick up palette knives. I ran out today.
I have a whole bunch.
Oh, you do?
I sent out a lot.
Oh, well, that's fabulous.
Yeah, we're okay on them.
I think I'm going to do it this way.
All right, so that's how I'm going to do it. But now I'm going to do something with what I cut out. But first I need to get all the glue residue off. All right. Well, look, Miss Arlene knows it.
Streetcar named Desiree.
Desire.
Oh, Desire. It was a play that became a movie. So thank you so much, Arlene. I never knew. Oh my gosh, that's cute.
Okay, this is, I'm going to show it again because its originator is in here. Is this not the cutest book ever?
I
And
like
so
that.
I'm going to make that with this right here. This is all the stuff I tore apart out of that magazine. That's how many miles you can get out of one magazine.
That's a lot of miles.
A lot of miles. I want all my edges are raggedy.
And sometimes it's nice to have a magazine with a boatload of text because you're looking to layer stuff on top of it. So don't be dissuaded if you don't like all the images in a magazine, because you just never know if it's going to be the background for something else too. Okay, those were from the magazine. These are not. So let's do our second page just like that. All right. Sometimes I just lay it down. Do you guys do that? You just put that baby in there and decide. But when I do, make sure that on your seam in the middle, it's not just a smidgen, because then it'll pop up on you when the book gets folded and unfolded. So make sure when you overlap it, you think about an inch. Unless you think of a different length, Jane Peter, but that's what I kind of.
That sounds good.
I don't like it that way. Oh yeah, that's better. Oh, I lose the fun stuff on this one. So you might be coming this way again. Oh, then I lose the fun stuff that way. Dag nabbit. If I lose the fun stuff, I'm saving it. Where'd it go? Where's my pen? Where's my scissors? Over there. All right. All of you fancy pants gluers are looking at me going, "What are you doing?" You know, this is how I like to just lay it out. Create my little base. Things I like go on here, and then I'll be happy about it. Good enough? I don't know. Good enough. So I like when it lines up to that better. It's for people who don't want to golf all the time and go to the beach. I don't know what they're selling, but whatever it is, it's for people who don't want to golf all the time. Are there any sports you've never done in your life, Jane Peter? Okay, let me ask it differently then with that snicker. What sports have you done that you've enjoyed?
That I've enjoyed?
Mm-hmm.
Bowling.
Bowling? I love bowling.
And anything that requires sitting on my butt. I did play softball, and I enjoyed it then. I didn't enjoy it when I coached. I'm just not a sportsy person. Never have been.
I think that's okay.
But I did play an instrument.
What'd you play?
Clarinet. And then I did all the different sizes, the alto clarinet and all that other stuff.
the only thing I've ever played is the piano, and I didn't actually have good lessons in that. It was more like just learning from other folks.
So I sent a line to Care the other day, and she did not know what it was. So I'm going to pull that line on y'all and see if anybody can tell me what the name of the movie was. All I need is this piece of paper, and maybe this glue stick, and this roll of tape. What is that a pun towards? See if anybody else gets it, or if I'm just imagining it. That could even happen.
Oh, I've got one after this. Is oh, smacks, I just forgot what it was. That's how my brain works. It just turns off. Oh man, what is it? I say it too. Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. That's what it is.
Okay. So Arlene didn't know it. I might be wrong. It has, I know one thing that he grabs in the movie is, all I need is this lamp. And I don't need anything else. There we go. There we go. At least I knew I was right. Sometimes I remember things and I'm like, well, was that really what I remembered? Thank you, Kay. I thought it was the jerk, but I wasn't positive, so. Yep. I still have never, ever figured out the something that I saw or heard somewhere, and I think it was a commercial, and I've looked everywhere. I've used the line in every direction I think I can, and I still have never gotten the knowledge to know where it came from. But it's a commercial with a little boy, and I don't know what he says up to this point, but like at the end of it, he looks so sad, and he says, and I can't find my socks. Nobody ever remembers it, so I don't know. Maybe it's one of those, things that you think you heard.
Well, it could be local commercials. Like some places have local commercials that are certainly memorable.
Yeah. Well, for some reason, I was thinking it was an insurance commercial, and I don't know why.
Y'all, I just messed up my own little gluey thing. Thank God for wet glue, huh? Oh, you want to know something we had donated, Jean Peter?
What's that?
Going to go into the new project program shenanigan thingy. Are you ready?
Bill, don't tease me.
I'm spilling it here in a second. As soon as I line this up, I gotta line it up. Because I just want it to line up to that thing. There we go. Okay, are you ready? An ATG gun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that I would rather not just give to someone because they may not be able to afford the refills.
Yeah.
But the new program, nudge, 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 folks should be making ATC cards if you're a artist, or thank you cards, or something like that, because you'll be saving up and wishing you had once we get to that new program.
Yep.
I'm just trimming off the excess in case anybody wonders, what are you doing with those scissors?
I don't know if it was a Tide commercial or not, Arlene. It could have been, but I just don't think so.
Does anyone know You're Killing Me, Smalls? What that one's from?
I've heard it. I don't know where I've heard it.
Oh, I love when it's raining. Not so much the big nasty storms, because sometimes those can be scary, but general rain, yeah. This one definitely wants to be doodled right there. It wants to be doodled all over the place. Oh my gosh, it's so much easier with a magazine with thick pages. This should be the answer. Y'all, you have a magazine with thick pages, you don't have to spend all day just gluing the pages to themselves.
Oh, no kidding.
I know, right? Love that. Thank you, Toady Media.
Thank you, Toady Media.
Right? All right. Don't you wish you were here bringing dreams to life?
Hi, Curly.
Page 2.
Yep, I think that's right, Curly. The Sandlot.
Yep, definitely. See, that's how simple it is. And then I can come back another day and doodle the bedazzles out of it. So you can use scrapbook paper. You can use magazine pages that even come from the same magazine you're working on. And then you'll see that you've got plenty of room. Now, I'll give you a tip. And I don't know if you also do this, Jean Peter. But what I'll do is I'll work on the first couple pages. And then I'll work on the last couple pages.
My first one, I did not do that too.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but I learned real quick.
Yeah, that's an, oh, look at this one. I got to rip it out because it's so darn cute. Isn't that cute? Yeah, this page is coming out. Make sure that it's safe. You can tell they use glue melt for the spines in these things. Oh my gosh, I even like her.
So I'm making this book, and I trimmed all the pages, and I have all these pieces.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm using for the hinges.
Totally makes sense to me. Okay, do you guys remember when I said don't put something with less than an inch? And look what I did. I put something with less than an inch, and that's precisely what happens. Dagnabbit. So I'm going to be battling with that for a while. I'll probably end up ripping it another time. Do as I say, not as I do. All right, back to the page. I forgot to do this. We do actually have a class out there. I don't know if we have that one up for sale, Jean Peter. Do you remember? The one where it's called the Uncollage?
No, we do not.
That one is completely different, and all you really need is a ruler, scissors, and a little bit of strain on your brain trying to figure out how you're going to do it.
But for some reason, that one just flowed. Every one of them I've done, it really did. It just happened.
I loved it. I loved that project.
Because it's a page by page, and then you just know when you go through it what's working for you.
Yep. See, now I'm not sure how I want these. I'm changing it up on myself. See, he seems too bold. And I'm not a fan of even numbers. I don't know that I want to do 2. He pokes in there or he pokes in there.
I think I made my pages one way and glued them another way, but that's okay. It'll all work.
Yeah, I don't want them on there now. See, I think it's just done. Save that. So you're doing, say that again? My brain was off thinking.
I said I cut my pages or tore my pages in one direction, thinking, but I think I'm gluing them together in a different direction than what my covers were intended. So,
oh, that's funny.
It's okay. We'll make it work because it's all scrap, and I think it's going to just be so stinking cool. I'm already in love with it.
By no means am I going to finish this whole thing today. But I think what I am going to do is cut down all of my pages that I feel like and use that as my base layer for the journal. All right. All right. Are you ready? Oh, it's heartbreaking to use this whole fancy pants one. This could be its own journal. Front and back, just fold it, stitch it together, and it's a heavenly journal. Super thick pages. All right. Let me do another one that I have here. See if you are about. Oh my gosh, look, it's about the right size. From one book page to another. How fun is that? All right, I'm just going to fold you in half then. I think I'll do you about the middle. Just because I'm going to need a happy little surprise towards the middle. And then, do I want the bottom up? Yeah. Ooh, this is a hard one to rip. Did we have any more movie quotes? Do any of you have movie quotes? Stump the chump on us.
That'll be easy. I'm not a movie watcher.
I know, me either. I'm the last one you want on your team.
And unless they're Willy Wonka or Wizard of Oz quotes, I probably don't know them.
Yeah. You could do guess the next line in the song, maybe. I think I'd fail at that too.
Yeah, I'm sure I would too.
All right, so both of these.
Okay.
Go off the edge.
So I just made a book, just like the one I got in the mail yesterday. And I think I love it. I think I love
you.
Oh, what am I so afraid of?
That's a good question. What are you so afraid of?
What's the next line?
I don't know. That's why I'm not the right person to ask.
Oh, we need.
Okay, here's the question. Not that we all can remember exactly what the last song was that we listened to, but what's the last song that we remember that we heard most recently? That'll be interesting. Use the hood, Red. Use the hood. I'm guessing that's Little Red Riding Hood.
I'll think about it tomorrow. I have no idea.
I'll think about it tomorrow. I don't know. I'll think about it and I'll tell you tomorrow. Are you guys ready for the answer on how? Okay, so here's a question that's out to the DAM Club for those who are in the DAM Club. And I haven't announced this publicly yet. But I have an answer. And right now it's, oh my gosh, it's 4:40. I can't do this much longer. And right now, how many pages do you think my printer has printed? I've owned my printer since February of last year. And oh my gosh, look at how wonky that is ripping out of there. That's why the ripped looks good, because you can tatter it all over the place. But I've owned my printer since February of last year, February 2020. We do have a volunteer who is Laura, one-legged witchy woman, who does, I don't know, how long has she been printing for us now? A few months?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably 6 to 8 months, maybe.
Really? That long?
I think it's, yeah.
Smacks Laura. I can't believe how much time flies. But she's rewatching this. Okay, look at how that didn't glue. What's the deal with that? Why am I unhappy with this? Glue it down, woman. Glue it down. Did I just not glue this side or something? Watch, I probably glued 2 other pages together or something. All right, get you down. You're going down. Okay, how many pages? Gone with the Wind. I'm afraid there's no cure for the love I have. I feel for. See, I don't know that one either. Okay, use the hood, Red. Use the hood. I don't know. Is that in Carrie? Why am I not gluing this properly? I think I'm just not getting the edges down. That's why.
Hoodwink. Never seen it.
Oh, I've never seen that. I didn't even know that was the name of a movie. Is anybody ready to guess how many? How many pages? Jean knows. Jean's like Horshack over there. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Because I told her. It floored me. You guys, if you guess how many, I'll tell you higher or lower. Oh, that was the next line in the song we were saying. See, I didn't even know. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, look how easy that is. One book page to another. Looks like I already collaged that baby down. It's not mine. Let's use some other stuff that I have on my left. We'll use a book page in the middle.
Oh, great cartoon detective.
Oh, I like the to-do list.
Is it Jessica Rabbit? Whatever that movie was.
Cartoon detective movie. Higher than what Kay Borland said. Higher than 5,000.
Oh.
Oh, Inspector Gadget. I like that show. That's cute. All right, third one down. I like things with lines on it. I can know exactly where I need to cut. There we go.
Has anybody seen Cruella yet?
No, but I have hair like her. Oh. I'm telling you, the way I'm going gray, it's a good thing I wear a hat all the time. It's kind of funny.
Higher.
Oh my gosh, too funny. Okay, higher than 15,000. When I log off here, I'm going to have to go on Facebook and announce to the damn club who the winner is. What did I say? Oh, the winner was going to get a free subscription for this month's damn pack. That's right.
Sorry, Chicky, I gotta cover up your face.
Thin paper is easier to glue down. I think I want this to wiggle at the bottom. Wiggle it just a little bit. Hold on. I think I want to wiggle the top too now. That's why I said if you can't cut a straight line, just wiggle it. It just makes it easier. There we go. I only want to do half of it. I need something on the other side.
There's some new numbers up, Care.
New numbers. Okay. It's less than 25,000 and less than, well, I'll just say that one. It's less than 25,000.
Yeah, I don't know that one, Arlene. Hey, you know what? I could do a sneak peek on something coming in an auction.
Ooh, you want to do that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I could.
Less than 21,000. You should do that.
There's other things in this box, but there's one thing in this box that is so stinking cool. And I will do the opening at another time, but I wanted to share it now because it's just that stinking cool. Okay, let's get the glue sticks out of the way. And let's get the fingers cleaned up a little bit. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, here it is. I'm going to make me big because it's that amazing. And I'm going to turn off this light so we don't have the glare. Are you ready?
Higher than 18,000.
Okay, so I'm being dramatic on purpose. Isn't she beautifully amazing? She's got black trim for her in her hair with her braids. She's got tattoos on her hands, on her chest, on her face.
She is amazing.
Some gorgeous.
And the person, did they make the outfit too?
Yeah. Completely changed and altered the doll. There's the artwork, a few people on here, and it is amazing. I think she called this an earth witch, but I could be wrong. I'll have to check with her and find out, or she could tell me.
Is she sneakily here in chat?
She is, and her helper that made part of this is in the chat too.
Ooh, win-win.
Yeah, I just love it. In fact, I told her I was going to open it yesterday when I was talking to her, and I told her, I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing in the bottom of that box. Nothing. So,
Oh, that's too funny.
Cool. Way cool. She did do a good job on her.
She's beautiful.
And do you know what? I have an art doll collection. I'll have to take a picture of it and share it sometime. And I have pretty dolls, and I have ugly dolls, and I have scary dolls, and I have holiday dolls.
When I was a little kid, I used to have a doll named Ugly.
A doll named what?
I named the doll, or my mom named the doll Ugly.
Oh.
It's because the doll, I've never seen it ever since then. I don't know what it's called. And I've looked for it actually. It's above 19,500. And I've looked for it, and the doll makes faces based on how you push it with your thumbs. So you could move the smile or the frown. And I always had it frowning. So
oh, wow.
Yeah. This will be a fun one to doodle on.
Earth Witch.
Earth Witch.
Oh, I didn't look that far. I didn't, want to touch her too much. So here's my little book I made with just the scraps. I used the cover and a piece of fabric to hinge it. And then all the pages are just magazine pages. They're kind of sticking together because I glued sloppily. And they're hinged with another magazine page. So by the time you took this and you painted the pages and you put stuff on them, or not paint the pages, just glue stuff on them, I actually picked ones with pictures I liked. So that's just using scraps.
That is fabulous. So this, as you can tell, as we're sitting here just playing, the concept of doing this art journal is basically to do it however you feel like doing it. You can use the fancy pants paper that came with all the supplies. You can use it to make your books. You can use it all on its own. You can use it with the magazine pages. Oh, I meant to put the little fliffles at the top. You can use it however you want to, and it'll be fun. At least I think.
Donna's too high, K's too low.
Well, K is pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. So let me do the math real quick, and I can give you the exact number. Because I know what I just printed after I printed my page. So we're ready for the number. So 19,881 plus 150 is we just crossed 20,000 pages just on this printer. So 20,031 pages just on one printer. Isn't that crazy? Oh my word. All right, where's the pokey one? It wants to be here. Does it want to be here? Because I'm thinking now it doesn't want to be here. No, it doesn't. Oh well, I'll come up with something coming up from the bottom of this one at some point. So that page is definitely not done. It needs some color though, that's for sure. Yeah, there we go, that looks better. Put it right up to the seam. Make sure of a good seam.
You know that you're doing good and having fun when you're making art, when you do something and it makes you snicker.
Uh-oh, what'd you snicker on?
Not quite there yet. Just hang on. Because I said some of these pictures look like they're tailor-made photographs. There we go. Got my friend there in the picture. And then she sells seashells.
She says. Oh man, that's quite the rain. Can you hear that? That's a good little storm.
Are you home for the day? Uh-oh, somebody's going to be cranky.
Well, I am done at this point. And I am just going to show a few of the pages and let people know that they can do it however they want. And whatever you do, don't do as I do, don't do as I say, or how does that go? Don't do as I do as I say.
Yeah.
Because this is less than an inch and you can see what happens when that happens. So I'm going to have to put something there that makes me happy because right now it's not making me happy. But this one I made as pockets. If you want to just simplify it, mine happens to be, let's put a cover to it so it has a cover. Well, I don't know what cover I want on it yet. Usually I don't put my covers on the journals until I'm done with all the insides to get a feel for what I want. But it could be anything you want. Do you hear the rain now? That's crazy stuff. Holy smacks. All right. So I wanted it and ripped it to be the size to fit into this cigar box. All cigar boxes, well, most cigar boxes are different sizes. And so I gave myself just a little bit of room to grab it out for when I'm done. And then when it's fully done, it's going to be a little bit chunky. So I left some space in there and some space to put stuff on top. And that,
you could glue a ribbon in the bottom of the box.
So it's easier to pull it out.
Yeah, so you can pull it out with that. I think that's just so classy.
I like it when it's paper too. Have you ever seen folks do that?
Yeah.
Where you take the paper and cigar boxes even do that sometimes, and all you got to do is line it like that, put it in there, and then you can just pull it out easily. Unlike what I was just suffering through. Any case, so you have your little thing there, and then when you flip it, my first page is a pocket. The second one is just gluing the stuff down that was fun, that I enjoyed. And then you want to make sure you go to the back, which I didn't do, but I should do. You go to the back and you make something in the back. So you want to work from front and back towards the middle. Otherwise, it's going to gradually look really funny on your spine. Like you can already tell this is one of the pages done because it wants to separate there. And after a while, your spine is going to stretch a little bit, and that's okay. And so this is the middle, and this is to the left of middle. It's not glued down perfectly, which happens sometimes if you don't catch that spot in the middle very well. So this one's going to be an easy one to turn into a journal, and you'll never know when you're done that it started out as a magazine. And it depends on what your art style is and how you want to play. Some people just want to glue something down on one page, flip it to another page, and glue something down there, and that will be just nice, quiet, calm gluing. And people call that a glue book. I like to mix it up. So I'll start off with like the magazine pages or the paper and my layers like that. Then I'll come in and I'll doodle. Sometimes I'll paint. Afterwards, it just depends on what mood I'm in when I get through those. So with that said, do you want to share yours, Jean Peter?
Okay. So here's my book. It was intended that this covered this, but then I decided to put this on there so it read a bit of charm, which is okay. So it's going to be like this, which is still okay. All my edges are rough.
Oh, we just lost Jean Peter. Okay. Well, I don't know if she's coming right back or not, because maybe she lost her internet, but she collaged the inside of hers. And what she did differently, for those of you who weren't in the beginning, is instead of taking the whole journal to fit the size of a cigar box, because we're only sending this to the folks who say smoker yes, she tore hers to be half of the journal. There you are. I'll add
That's
you.
what happens when your mouse is in the way. That's what happened. So anyway, I did mine. This is like 1/4 of the magazine. And I have all my scraps from it. I didn't like cut it to get 2 magazines because I had other ideas for my scraps or get 2 journals. But anyway, so there's my front. This was woven, if you watched earlier, as a different way, but I decided I like the black and white. Kind of ties in with a bit of charm. And this is just 2 images, a map and a little house that were in the magazine. I liked them, and I kind of liked how they worked. And then that's really all I've done in here. All my pages are either cut, glued, or whatever. There's some that are glued, folded and glued, and some that are just torn. Most of my whole book is torn. I like the edges that way. And then some of these pages have the way they have, like this one, you know, it folded. I did glue this here because it was paradise, and, you know, prime rib and wine, I think sounds like paradise. And I don't know, just giving them titles if they need it. And I don't know. I really like the way this magazine worked. I like the way when you use 1/4 of the page, you got good images, you know, not like a lot of partial words and partial things. I mean, the pages themselves are decent, and that's kind of unusual. So this definitely makes for a really good journal, especially if you want to leave some of your pages in there. Because, I mean, as is, just like this one right here, she's sitting there in a chair, and it's just framed up perfectly. So I took this off of something I cut out. She sells seashells, and I cut a little seashell off and put it there, and I think the page is done now. But with my scraps, I made this. This is just 1/2 of one of the covers. And this magazine, I can't even go how amazingly awesome it is. And I use fabric for the spine, but each page is hinged together with a piece of paper that it's sticky because I just glued it all. And each page is glued together with a piece I cut off of them to trim them down to fit.
And that works so perfectly.
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah, I like it too.
And I'm really gonna frou-frou this up, I think. Not frou-frou. I'm gonna funk it up. I'm gonna JP it, as I've been told.
So for those of you who are thinking like the magazine, let me just do that. So maybe you're inspired by how Jean Peter did like that little piece that glued them all together, and you want to do it with scrapbook paper. You could quarter this scrapbook paper, the ones that don't have the cut aparts. And then each time you quarter it, you could do the same thing because it has a front and a back, and you could use your, just take another space as your scraps and attach it that way on the quarters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it would totally work. And even when you have a decoration like this and you look at just this 6x6, so you'd have yourself a 6x6 book where you can see how it's glued to each other in the spine the way Jean Peter just did hers. And show that glue thing again, because that might be just a fun and simple project for someone. Oh, here's a sample of where it's a duplicate.
So I just made the pages, and then I just
Well, hold your britches, I'm not on you. There you go.
I was watching it, and I still didn't realize it.
That's okay.
So the pages are just the magazine pages that I tore out, and I trimmed them to fit the cover. I thought, but I had to trim them again after I had them put together because I glued them the wrong way. But that's okay because everything's fixable because it's just paper.
And
so
show the size of the thing in the middle up close, like to the camera part. There you go.
Yeah.
So is that about 1 inch by 3 inches that she used?
Yeah. This one's just this big.
Smaller.
And there's a couple in here that are full the whole length. my first one I did the whole length right here because I like the windows. And then just parts of them. And my pages aren't all exactly the same page, and they're not all in there straight. And I think that just makes it more cooler.
I think wonkier the better, honestly. That's why I like the patterned ripped edges, because I just like that unfinished edge.
And I really like this one. If there had been more black and white like that, I think I would have enjoyed that a lot too. Yeah. And the poor lady here, we only get to see her bosom. Got to cover her face on both sides.
Oh, Jean, look, I got my printer in February 16th of 2019, not 2020. I guess so 2 years ago. I can't believe I've had that printer 2 years. But that's a super pretty base for art journaling. And so you can turn even your scraps, and even if the scraps aren't the same size, into an art journal like that.
This is what it was based on.
Yeah, that's just fabulous. It's a great idea.
Yep, I really like that. I really like this one too.
My thing won't let me go on both of us. Oh, there we go. I was just going to say thank you very much for joining us and hanging out with us today. Hopefully, even if you aren't a artist, hopefully you've been inspired to manipulate one of your magazines and play with that. And once again, thank you to Prima Marketing and Tito Media. Toady, not Tito. I'm not thinking vodka. Toady Media. Love and hugs, everyone. Thank you very much. Stay out of trouble.